Hello everyone, Ace here, and today I'm just going to have to go ahead and say it. I was pleasantly surprised by Star Wars The High Republic Eye of the Storm issue number 2. That's not to say that the second issue is good. It is in fact very much in the realm of mediocrity. However, that is head and shoulders above most things that are High Republic related. In fact, I'd have to argue that the biggest issue for this comic book series is that it is undeniably tied to those other works. Although having said that, Eye of the Storm issue number 2 still provides its own inconsistencies in terms of writing. And to understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to have to jump into spoilers. But for those who want the overall summary, I would say that Eye of the Storm issue number 2 is on the level of some of the weaker Star Wars EU stories, which still places it head and shoulders above most things High Republic. But now let's move on to some of those spoilers I mentioned. For a start, we learn the backstory of how Marchion Ro acquired the creatures known as the Nameless, during which we learn that the Jedi Order have taken the steps to ensure that all knowledge regarding the Nameless are completely erased. Now, it does make sense to some degree that the Jedi Order would try to suppress knowledge of these creatures, given that they feed off of the Force and are an effective hard counter to Jedi. Or at least it would make sense for the Jedi Order to suppress this knowledge from the general public. That said, it would appear that the Jedi Order during the High Republic have taken such extreme measures that absolutely no one in the Jedi Order knows about these creatures or what they are capable of. And that, unsurprisingly, is a terrible, terrible idea that simply makes no sense. And that is one of the two notable plot holes that holds this comic book down substantially. The other notable plot hole being that the Nihil have created a magic MacGuffin called Star Seeds, which are able to destroy entire fleets of starships traveling through hyperspace. Now, this could to some degree be explained by it being some sort of lost technology that was simply undiscovered during the entirety of the Clone War era or the Galactic Civil War era, and that I believe would actually be a reasonable explanation if the Nihil could only do this for a few select planets, as after all they are a relatively small band of pirates. However, Eye of the Storm issue number 2 makes it very clear that the Nihil are able to take over no less than 10 star sectors using these star seeds. And the sheer scale of what the Nihil have managed to accomplish with these things is where I have the problem, because I simply do not see the Nihil having the strategic capacity nor the logistical or industrial base to pull off a move like this. The simple reality is that the depictions of the Nihil in other materials concerning the High Republic give the impression that they are simply too few in number and too poorly organized to effectively pull off an operation like this, which would require a heavy industrial base in order to mass produce these star seeds. In other words, the big plot twist of this comic book is just not really believable as far as the in-lore canon is concerned. But this may also explain why this comic is merely mediocre rather than absolute trash like most other things High Republic, because at least the problems that Eye of the Storm produces are for the most part relegated to the High Republic story arc, whereas most of the problems that other High Republic comic books tend to create have adverse impacts on the entirety of the Star Wars universe. So ultimately, those are my thoughts with regards to Star Wars The High Republic Eye of the Storm issue number 2. It pleasantly surprised me by merely being mediocre rather than absolute garbage, which is hardly a recommendation to read it, but if nothing else is a sign that the writing is at least improving somewhat. But in any case, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.